Hey y'all, want to do another tutorial. Last tutorial I did was a few days ago. It was just a real quick one, which included a giveaway, and I've had a few people sign up for the giveaway so far. I'd like to see a bunch more people sign up to get a free bow. I am now a little past 100 subscribers, and so if you did not get to check out that tutorial, it's, the one before this one. I think it's tutorial number 10. Please check it out and sign up for the giveaway to get a chance to win a bow of your choice, actually. Now, what we're going to do for this tutorial is make a frozen bow, and it's going to be a large 3-layer glitter bow with the cameo in the middle. Okay, and this is one of the largest ones I make, and it involves 3 layers of ribbon on top of each other. Okay, so the supplies I'm using, of course, your scissors, your glue gun. I'm also using my wood burning tool from Walmart, 10 bucks. I'm also using the two-sided tape for this one as well, barrette, and I'm going to be using my large salon clip. And the ribbon I'm using, this is 2 1/4 inch white grosgrain. You can pretty much get these solid colors anywhere online. Gosh, Walmart and Hobby Lobby sell them now. This particular grosgrain that I bought came from Gifts and Tell, because if you're going to order it wholesale, that's the best price for solid color ribbon in all the different sizes. Okay, and then the other ribbon we're doing Elsa from Frozen. Gorgeous ribbon, and I will get the link for where I get this ribbon. It's like Grandma's Bows or something like that on Etsy. So I mean, gosh, you can get tons of frozen ribbon on Etsy or eBay or whatever, but this particular ribbon came from an Etsy shop, and I can get that information for you as well. Okay, and then the glitter ribbon, as I've said before, my favorite shop in the whole world. This glitter ribbon right here is going to be sandwiched in the middle. This is a blue glitter ribbon, and it comes on a roll like this, from silksandcrafts.com, a shop that I frequent at least once a week, even though it's about 40 minutes from my house, but it comes on a big roll like this. And this is 2 1/2 inch, and there's 10 yards on here. Okay. So these are the ribbons that I'm using today. Okay. Now, another thing that I am going to use is the little Elsa cameo. And I had another tutorial where I did a bottle cap with some decoration on it. So I just order mine online. You can print them yourself or whatever, and you can order the cameos online. I think the shop where I got this cameo was called Samantha's Treasures, something like that. Okay, but they are all over Etsy. All right. Okay, just to get started, and you can do this in any order that you want. Oh yes, and you need your needle and thread with the upholstery thread. I usually start with the top ribbon and put it on top of the glitter ribbon. And then what you want to do is I just kind of peel it back, if that makes any sense. And then my suggestion when you are putting the grosgrain ribbon on top of glitter ribbon, I would recommend using a good bit of this tape runner just to make it stay well so it doesn't come off. Alright, so I'll, you know, as I've said before, I do, you know, maybe 10 to 12 inches at a time. Okay, so I'm just going to take a minute to run this tape. And I got this particular tape runner. AdTech is the name of it, Crafter's Tape. I got it from Hobby Lobby. And they have, you know, the little refills. I think Elmer's puts out something similar. And you can get it at Walmart, but to me it's not as good. Alright, so I'm just going to continue to seal these two ribbons together. You know, the two-sided tape runner is just excellent for this. And I've never really had any major problems with it not sticking. And it, you know, it lasts pretty well. Oops, bumped the camera. Okay. And again, I just have a little bit more to go. I wouldn't recommend doing the whole top piece with the tape, because then you'll wind up having a sticky mess. Okay, alright, now, so I have the ribbon all taped down on the top part. Okay, then I want to take my grosgrain, and it's going to go on the bottom. Okay, oops. You know, you're just going to sandwich it. Well, the glitter is sandwiched in the middle. This is going to be your bottom layer, or your, you know, the inside layer of your bow. Okay, and then you put it on the bottom. And this is where you want to get your wood burning tool. And I've done this quite a few times already, demonstrated, you know, how to do this. And I just run it at an angle, all three layers. Now just push down with a good bit of strength and go slow. And this melts all three together. And it looks nice and professional. Oops. One little piece right there. That's why it's important to make sure you push it down. Okay. And then it's all heat sealed together, and you have all three ribbons. Now, it's up to you if you would like to take your tape runner and put some more tape between these two. I've kind of gotten coordinated enough to, excuse me, to where I don't need to do that. So I'm just going to make it without doing that. Okay, and then again, this is just your basic boutique bow, large, very large, I guess, for most people. We like them big in the South, for sure. Okay, no kidding. I mean, I've seen a bow this size on a 1-year-old, you know, an 18-month-old. No joke. Okay, so just make our first loop. And again, you know, you have to adjust with a bow this large. And I know I get out of camera range here because it's such a large piece. Okay, and then you just simply make your bottom. You know, and everybody makes their boutique bows a little bit different. They're 4-loop boutique bows, a little different. I, you know, start with my bottom loops. Okay, and that looks pretty good to me. And I actually have this black covered, partially lined alligator clip. I'm just going to use it to hold the bottom here. With bows this large, sometimes you need an extra hand, and that's what the clip is for. Alright, and then we are going to And the whole time you got to make sure that you hold these ribbons together if, you know, you don't tape them. I don't like to tape the bottom sometimes because it bubbles up, but you know, whatever you have to do. You know, if you make several of them, you can get coordinated enough. Alright, my third loop, I'm going to stick this behind the little tail. Okay, and so I've got 3 loops now. And then I'm going to take this and flip it over. Okay, and then I've got something that looks like this. Now, I think I failed to mention the length on this ribbon. Same thing as I've mentioned in the other videos. 46 to 48 inches, something like that for a bow this large. I wouldn't recommend going less than 45 or 46 because then it gets too hard to make the big loops. If you want a big bow, then make a big bow. If you know, if not, you can certainly work with smaller ribbon. Okay. And you can make a smaller bow. I mean, there are glitter ribbons that are 1.5 inches. All right, so you want to take your your boutique salon clip rather, and put it in the middle, and then you can take your alligator clip out of the bottom. Now, before we do our creasing in the middle, we want to make sure our loops are symmetrical. Okay, so I take a few minutes to adjust. And I just kind of do this, and I can see that one loop is a lot shorter than the other, so I just adjust, turn it over in the back and adjust. Okay, and that looks pretty good. And then I go around to my front loops and I do the same. It looks like on the other side, this one's a lot shorter. Okay, so I'm just adjusting here. These really large bows, especially with all these layers and then the glitter and all that, you know, can be very hard to deal with. Okay, and you see how I just kind of put these down like that and make sure that they're even. Okay, so I'm happy with the symmetry of my loops. Okay, and so now I'm going to take my needle and thread. And again, I don't call this sewing. I just call it securing, you know, the middle of the bow, creasing it, whatever. You know, sewing, in my opinion, is with a sewing machine. But anyway, all right. So I turn my bow over, and then I go in the back here, in the center, poke it through. And with a bow this thick, the ribbon 3 layers, you know, you have to really use some strength to get it through. And then I go through the top. Have to push that little tail down. And you know, you just want to go around, go to the bottom and feed it through the bottom. You're going around the center of the bow through the salon clip. I've done this for a few videos now, this type of technique. I can crease it without the salon clip. But like I said, with a bow this large, it takes less time to do that, and there's, you know, when you're creasing with your fingers, it's just, you know, you have 3 ribbons here, and you know, it can be very slippery. Okay, so I've got my thread thick enough in the middle, so I just begin to pull. Okay, I'm just pulling up and down, okay, until I have my crease in the middle. Okay, and then I just take the salon clip off. Okay, and before I tie it off completely, I just kind of give it a once over again to make sure it looks okay. Because, you know, once you tie it off, then that's it. Okay, and again, we're going to deal with this tail in just a minute. It's scraggly looking, but we're going to fix it. Okay, so then I pull real tight again. And then tie it off in the back. Okay, now, and remember, if you've watched my other videos, I do not cut the thread just yet. Okay, I'm going to get, just adjust again. Make sure it, look at how pretty that is. Gorgeous. I've had a lot of requests for this particular bow. I've made a lot of them. Okay, so now you want to get your barrette, take the tension bar out of the middle, turn over your bow, get your glue gun. Okay, glue your barrette down. And just kind of hold it for a minute. And then to further secure the barrette, I wrap my thread around the barrette and around the center of the bow 2 to 3 times. Pull it real tight again, and it really kind of smushes the barrette down into the glue. Okay, and then I just tie it off in the back. I do not recommend an alligator clip for a bow this large. You know, I mean, of course, ultimately it's your choice, but would not recommend it. And then you just cut that off. Now, I, of course, failed to mention one other supply that you need, and that would be, and I've got to dig it out myself here, that would be a coordinating 3/8 inch piece of ribbon here, and this is like a light blue that would match. Okay, I'm not going to cut it off the roll just yet. And let's see, I need another glue stick, and I had one out, but I misplaced it, so let me get one. Okay, now what you want to do is take the 3/8 ribbon and wrap it around the middle, or glue it around the middle. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue in the back, get my 3/8 ribbon, place it right there, and then I'm basically just going to feed it around the center of the bow. And at this point, if you do not want a cameo or a resin or whatever, any type of embellishment in the middle, you can make a knot, or you know, whatever you want to do with it. Okay, and then I'm just going to cut that off. And let's see, I'm just going to take this little lighter here, and I'm going to heat seal that end right there so it does not fray. You could take your wood burning tool and do the same thing, and you just want to glue that little flap down. Okay. And at this point, we can put our tension bar back in as well. And you remember my little trick. I just put the little prongs in the front. I set down the part right there and just hold it, and then you just flip your lid here, and there you go. Okay, so that's what we have so far. Very pretty, just like it is. Okay, very big bow, but again, like I said, you know, you can get the smaller ribbon, you know, the ribbon on top. If you want to make a smaller bow, say the printed ribbon, the Elsa ribbon, you can get it in a 7/8 or an inch in width instead of 1.5 inch. Okay, then you can, the glitter ribbon, you would simply get the 1.5 inch glitter ribbon and the 1.5 inch grosgrain, and that would make you know, a medium size one. You could probably even get a small one and still have a 3-layered bow. Okay, now before we finish up with the center, let's take care of the scraggly tail here. And I usually, this is like one of the last things I do in making the bow before I put the final embellishment on. I just like to do it last. You know, when you're dealing with all this ribbon, you're just kind of left with what's hanging down here, and then you can just lop it off, okay? Because the ribbons don't necessarily meet up evenly. Okay, and so I'm just going to take my wood burning tool and cut at an angle. Again, pressing down with a good amount of strength because you've got 3 ribbons, and you know, one of them is fairly thick, the glitter ribbon, and you want to make sure to melt that glitter. Okay, and so that's what we have here. Amazing what that wood burning tool does. It looks so professional. Okay, so that's what we have so far, and the last thing we want to do is put our cameo. See my little Elsa, and these little bows right here. I think I got these from a place called My Sunshine Shop, but again, I mean, Etsy sells these, you know, you can get them, you know, anywhere pretty much online. I don't know of any store that really sells them. Okay, anyway, I have included, and this is a silver cameo, you know, any, you know, white would work, blue, what, you know, whatever, but this is silver. And what I've done, if you can see it, there's a piece of felt on the back of it. I always put, you know, a piece of felt, you know, just to help it stick better whenever you're using hot glue. Alright, so I'm going to put a generous amount of hot glue on that piece of felt, and then we're going to stick it in the center and hold it down. And let it dry, and voila, that's what we have. Gorgeous, very large bow. Like I said, it's this particular one, the reason I chose to make this particular one to show you is because it's one of the most popular for Frozen that I've made, and I've had to make several of these. Okay, alright, so that's the Frozen bow. The next tutorial, which actually I hope to get up in a few days, definitely will not be one of these large bows. I'm actually going to scale it down this time, you know, because I know not everybody likes big bows, but we're going to do a set of pigtail bows. And I'm going back to the Shopkins theme just because there's so much you can work with, you know, using pigtail bows and Shopkins, and you know, I've just had such a tremendous request for Shopkins bows. Okay, so that is the next upcoming tutorial. We're going to do some pigtail bows with Shopkins. And again, I just wanted to mention that the giveaway in tutorial number 10 is for a hair bow of your choice. If you want to go back and watch that one and enter, that would be great. And thanks to all of my awesome viewers. I appreciate it. I know these videos are not edited, and you hear dogs barking, and you know, there's not a lot of pizzazz or music, but I'm really just doing this for educational purposes to help people out who want to, you know, make hair bows and, you know, get you some ideas or whatever. So I hope that you learned something from this one and enjoyed it, and I encourage you to go to the Big Southern Bows Facebook and send me some pictures of some of your creations. I would love to see what you guys are making, and I will also leave my email address in the descriptions so that, you know, if you want to correspond, that would be great. If you have any questions at all, please leave me a comment or email me or whatever. I'll get back to you. And give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. And until the next tutorial, bye.